Can you fool a self-driving car?
I'm sure people have heard of this guy, Mark.
Yeah.
Mark,
Who is he?
Mark Rober.
Oh, yeah. He's the glitter bomb guy.
Yeah.
Love that.
When you start looking into this, there's all kinds of YouTube videos just like breaking down how Mark Rober this experiment up.
This is a faulty test. It's not even a test, man. It's a YouTube video in the name of fun for clicks.
I watched a styrofoam child get obliterated.
Oh, sure.
I don't think I'm gonna sleep tonight. And then you go to their channels and they just videos upon videos about how the Giga truck is coming. And
So-
they have names like the Tesla Lord.
Lidar. More like these people are liars.
It's not just LiDAR. Waymo's also using cameras, other sensors, because they want to be able to map what's around it and not smash into a toddler like the video shows.
Well, you don't want to smash into a toddler, but some people might. Some people might be into that.
I'm looking downtown with Betty on me. Tell me what's going on. Tell me what's going on. So listen up to Betty on me. Tell me what's going on. Tell me what's going on.
Do you wanna
Okay,
let
folks,
me do it?
I am lighting, what is this called? Palo Santo,
Santo.
because it stinks in here. Somebody, and I'm not going to name names,
It's not me.
let out a great big toot.
No.
Let out a great big fart.
Somebody spilled burrito. all over
Oh, man, no, it wasn't Jim spilling burrito on himself. I think it's just stuffy in here because we never let it air out in here, you know? So before we get cooking on this episode that's all about Tesla haters and Elon haters.
it. We're about to do domestic terrorism via podcasting.
Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, God. This is going to be a fun episode.
Even talking about Tesla could get us locked up.
You know what's going to be great, though, especially is the bonus episode. Go to benandemilshow.com because, oh, boy, I've got some stuff.
Also,
benandemilshow.com where you get a
Free
your
month.
first month for free. And also, we're going to push the Q&A to next week because we screwed up a little bit.
there's
And
just a lot of
that's-
scheduling
Yeah,
stuff.
there's a lot of scheduling. But also, most importantly, we've got our big Boston video coming out. We shot a video in Boston with, should we tell them who?
We hired the worst tour guide in Boston.
Yeah.
And,
I feel like we should
and-
tell these people who it is because they'll
no,
especially
just
want
wait
to show
till
up.
you see it.
Okay, so that's going to come out next week. We're going to do a special.
And there's going to be a link in the description. You can, even if you're watching this day, the day this comes out, you'll be able to sign up to watch the premiere. It's already, it's all ready to go. And I think we might even be going live before to talk about it a little bit. And
Yeah, that
we're
could be
excited
fun.
for you all to see it. So that's going to be there.
And anything can happen when the show is live. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. One of our heads might explode. Oh, the JFK files are out today. They're supposed to come out today. 80,000 pages.
We'll see.
Boy, I'm going to have, you should just plug it into, I wonder if you plug it into ChatGPT or something and say, summarize these files in one sentence. Who killed John F. Kennedy Jr.? I wonder if it'll be able to say. I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see? Who's we'll see? Did we'll see work for the FBI?
Uh-huh.
Anyway, folks, boy, oh boy. It's been 1 week since you looked at me.
It's been, that's going to get us freaking copyright struck.
Yesterday, forgive me, but it's still been 2 weeks till I said I'm sorry.
Turn it into one of your poop or piss songs because it's got to be, we got to let YouTube know it's parody.
It's been 1 week since I took a piss.
There you go.
Got kidney stones and got a piss. Okay, enough joking. Enough kidding around. So Tesla shares.
That was the
right?
last kidding we're doing.
That was the last one. From here on out, it's very, very serious. Tesla shares are approaching, as of this week, their 9th straight red week.
Could we actually maybe just pull up a chart of, just the Google?
Let's count them, folks. Scroll down just a wee bit. Each one of these candles for the audio listener. God, I wish you could see it. Oh, man. Each one of these little candlesticks represents 1 week's worth of price action. And we are going on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Count them.
Look
9.
at that. Oof.
That is the most consecutive red weeks that Tesla has ever had. I scrolled back all the way to 2012, 2013.
Wow, this is the most it's ever had.
The most consecutive red weeks.
Yeah.
Yes. Which ultimately means nothing. It's just if you're a
I mean, it means
statistics-
things are a bit precarious for.
Yeah, but it also, to me, as a trader, means that it's probably due for a green week. So,
Sure.
but we are, as of today, trending toward last week's lows, which ain't good. But it also could set up for a bit of a double bottom. And no, that's not when you put your butt up against somebody else's butt. It just means that we're potentially bottoming off of last week's
But
low.
pull up the Google one. I do want to also just indicate you can see all of the air coming out of
Precipitous.
go do
dues,
like
1
6
month.
months or
6 months.
6 months. You can see all the air coming out of the surge it had after the Trump
Yeah.
election,
And I
just
really
about
wish that I had the foresight to
losing it all.
God, I mean, back then I missed it double time because after the election, I should have known that Tesla would be a great proxy to play for Trump's winning, and because Elon's his number one main man. But then with Doge, when Doge started, I should have also had the foresight that, hey, probably not a lot of people aren't going to like what this guy's doing. He's also crying about like, oh, everybody's mad
Yes,
at
but
me.
you also couldn't have imagined how extreme it would have gotten, right? And in my mind, I'm
Yeah.
like, he's going to get much looser regulatory procedures, right? They're going to go full steam with full self-drive, all this
Yeah.
stuff. It's going to be great for them.
Yeah, with the layoffs and
You-
whatnot.
You couldn't have imagined
Thank you.
that this man would torch his own reputation in this way.
Yeah.
Dandruff,
however, my real quick aside, my dandruff stock, Arcutis Biotech, doing well, man. Love that one. Gonna keep buying. I'm looking forward to buying that sucker on the dips. Because as we gave it to our esteemed colleague Jim to heal his hand, it worked, didn't it, Jim?
It healed my hand.
It healed his hand. We've got Tesla shares down for their 9th consecutive week, and it's all pointing to, when stocks do this, everybody's scrambling for a narrative, right? And this week, it's this YouTuber, Mark Rober.
yeah. And if you haven't been keeping up at home, amidst all this was a couple of very funny but also kind of scary moments with Trump. People are talking about Elon crying in the Oval Office,
yeah.
and that's what led to Trump on the front lawn with his basically doing his used car salesman shtick.
Yeah.
And you got the famous everything's computer.
Everything's computer.
God, it's such a great line.
Doing his best to help out his buddy. He's also, he asked, he was asked in an interview, and I think he said that they're looking into making it illegal to. Well, he called the
domestic terrorism.
He called the boycott illegal.
Yeah.
And he said that they're looking into making any of the vandalism of the cars.
Yeah.
Labeling it domestic terrorism.
Yeah. So, but then also you had this YouTuber put out a video
Everyone's
yesterday,
panties in a bunch.
Monday. Oh yeah. Oh God, it's really entertaining. So let's break it down for you. So the video is called "Can You Fool a Self-Driving Car?"
I'm sure people have heard of this guy, Mark.
Yeah.
Mark-
Who is he?
Mark Rober. The big famous, I'm sure you saw that YouTube video where he puts the glitter bomb in the.
Oh yeah,
in
he's
the-
the glitter bomb guy.
Yeah.
Love that.
But he's got some bona fides as a actual science guy. He's a former NASA engineer,
wow.
and I think he worked at some tech companies.
Whoa.
And now he's a
Oh, great videos. Egg drop from space.
he's
Can
a
you swim in
massive
Jell-O?
he's a massive YouTuber. Kids love his science videos.
Yeah, can you fool a self-driving car? As of now, Jesus God, it's got 39 million. Whoa, wait. It's only got 13.9 million views? Huh. Well, I guess that's still pretty damn good. But
That seems pretty good to me.
3
Yeah.
days? That's
yeah, that's
Yeah,
really
that's
good.
insane.
Damn, look at that Ryan Trahan. I tried every train in Japan. 4 million views? Good God.
Hey, Ben. look at me.
4.7. What? Okay, so he puts out this video, and it's of a Tesla plowing through a painted Looney Tunes
he's
style
got
Wile E.
two-
Coyote display.
He's got two cars stacked up against each other.
Sure,
It's
sure.
also
I mean,
it feels like a weird. I will concede it does feel like a bit of a weird ad for Lidar.
sure.
It opens with a weird distraction with this
I thought that was
Space
great.
Mountain thing about
'cause-
how he sneaks on some lidar to map out.
Well, yeah,
Space
I was
Mountain
going to
thing.
say it's the big gist of it though, real fast, backing up. It's this Tesla ultimately plows through this makeshift wall painted like the landscape, ultimately alleging that, Tesla's autopilot can't see it, and all the Tesla permabulls and the fanboys are tripping over themselves, calling him a liar, calling him a shill for this competitor, which I don't even know if you could call it a competitor. But yes, it's Tesla's autopilot pitted against this company called Luminar's Lidar. Luminar supplied a Lidar equipped car. And yeah, it was weird because I really enjoyed that. To showcase what Lidar does, he wore a Lidar.
Oh, you enjoyed the Space Mountain.
Yeah. I mean, I scrubbed through it, but I thought it was kind of cool.
I did not scrub through it, and I was like, okay, this is, what we came here for. It's classic YouTube. Here's the catchy title, and then you're like, what the? He's in Disneyland right now?
Am I watching the same video or something? But
I truly was like, I think this is maybe the wrong video. Why are they at Disneyland?
It is. I will say I think it's very impressive. So the way Lidar works is it bounces a laser off of everything in its environment, and it the time it takes the laser to hit the target and go back gives it the ability to map its environment. And Space Mountain, the ride at Disneyland, is famously dark. You have no idea the layout of it. It's just
To be fair, I'm pretty sure you can Google it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that wouldn't be fun. While you do that, I will continue explaining. So the guy, Mark Rober, wears one on his chest, and it's really fun. They analyze the data, and they show and map out what Space Mountain looks like, and then they do 3D model.
You can just Google Space Mountain lights on in it.
Fucking shit, man.
Well,
thank God you're not his partner, because he would have been like, okay, thank you for
I'm
shooting
sure he
down
knew.
my
I'm
thing.
sure he knew. I just,
Yeah.
it's just.
See, I didn't know. It worked on me. Hey, gang, we want to take a quick break to thank a sponsor of the show, which is Factor Meals. I love these little guys. They're
You're
tasty.
obsessed.
They're easy. They're ready to eat.
And they're healthy.
You heat and eat in 2 minutes.
What more do you want?
It's what else do you want, folks? You don't have to
Easy.
cook.
Tastes good. Also healthy.
You pop it in the microwave. It's really good. They arrive fresh and fully prepared. They're perfect for any busy, active lifestyle, just like me. You can lose up to 8 pounds in 8 weeks with Factor Keto Meals, which is based on a randomized, controlled clinical trial with Factor Keto. Results will vary depending on diet and exercise.
And some of you might be saying, I'm a little picky. Well,
Yeah.
they've got 40 options across 8 dietary preferences. Okay? That's each week. It's easy to pick meals tailored to your goals. Choose from preferences like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, or Keto.
I'm a Protein Plus and Keto guy.
Oh, I can tell.
Plus, Factor can help you feel your best all day long with wholesome smoothies, breakfasts, grab-and-go snacks, and more add-ons. You can reach your goals this year with ingredients you can trust and convenience that can't be beat. And folks, I got to tell you, this stuff is tasty, all right? Because they send them to me. They send them to us.
You've been eating them a lot.
I like to eat them.
I come over.
Make the place smell good.
I see them in your trash when I throw stuff out.
Doug's looking at me like, let me get some of that.
He's
I'm like,
begging.
no, you can't do that. You got dog food, man. This is me food. This is people food. And it's good for me.
And Doug's going, yeah, but it looks like it tastes so good.
And it does taste so
and it
good.
smells delicious.
So eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/factorpodcast and use code factorpodcast to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's Factor Podcast at factormeals.com/factorpodcast to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. But anyway, so Luminar is the company that makes these LiDAR sensors. They actually used to have a contract with Tesla, and Tesla was going to use LiDAR for its self-driving, but because it's so prohibitively expensive, Elon Musk insisted that they switch to cameras only, and said that in time, the data that they're going to collect from doing camera only is going to supersede the abilities of LiDAR. And Mark's video is essentially pitting them against each other, which can do better
which is
in
a
like
common,
6 categories.
A common misconception is people thought that the Tesla vehicles had LiDAR on them already. They never did, but they did have there was a period of time when it was not just the cameras, but they had radar on the vehicles. And they knew they needed to
Radar or LiDAR?
radar.
Radar.
Yeah, this is from the Washington Post. Basically, and his engineers begged him not to do this. They were like, it's not going to work. But he wanted to cut costs. They said the technology was expensive, and 2 years ago, when the supply chain was falling apart, Musk became determined to bring down the cost. He zeroed in on a target: the car radar sensors, which are designed to detect hazards at long ranges and prevent the vehicles from barreling into other cars and traffic. Seems like a good thing to have on a autonomous vehicle. The sleek bodies of the cars already bristled with 8 cameras designed to view the road and spot hazard in each direction. That, Musk argued, should be enough.
That should be...
The Tesla engineers were aghast.
I'm aghast.
They contacted trusted former executives to offer advice to talk Musk out of it, but he couldn't do it. And apparently, they began disabling the radar in 2021. The result? Quick uptick in crashes, near misses, and other embarrassing mistakes by Tesla vehicles, suddenly deprived of a critical sensor.
Well, in this Mark Rober video, Luminar, he insists that Luminar did not compensate them. It wasn't a paid promotion, but they did supply the LiDAR-equipped car. And Tesla fanboys were so pissed off.
They also weirdly promoted it on their website and then took it down quickly.
Yes, that is. There's a lot of admittedly sketchy things, but I mean, I don't care. But so Tesla fanboys were so pissed. But when you watch the video, he's really not high. Before I watched the video, I was just going off of what these guys were commenting, and they're saying this is so deceptive. Oh my god, it's so deceptive. He's not hiding shit. It's just they are saying it's a conspiracy, that it's faked. Or that the autopilot wasn't on, or that it was disengaged just before. They're also bitching that autopilot is outdated, and this is where there's an important distinction to be made. Autopilot is not the same thing as full self-driving. Autopilot is just a very simple, bare bones.
Autopilot is the highway system where you can basically turn on cruise control and it will keep you in the lanes and stuff like that. Yeah. And then full self-drive is the one where you can basically turn it on to take you to a certain location.
You can sleep, you can jerk off, have sex.
But I really wouldn't, because unless you trust Elon Musk, who has proven not just in this venture, but all kinds of ventures to want to cut corners and cut staff and all this stuff where it's...
Isn't that misconception about full self or autopilot versus full self-drive? Isn't that what got us so many accidents in the first place? It's because people had the idea that, autopilot is the fucking check it out, and then they crash.
Yeah, that's, as you were saying, there are a lot of claims by the Tesla bulls. One of them is that, like, it's misleading to even call this a... autonomous vehicle or a self-driving car or anything, because it is not that. He's using autopilot.
Sure.
But at the same time, it's been just as irresponsible for Elon Musk to kind of roll out this thing. And I think a lot of people treat it as if it's just and I mean, just in personal experience, I've been in Teslas with people where I'm like, yo, turn that shit off. I'm not fucking...
Yeah.
I've seen people who even had like a little... almost like beanbag looking thing in the cup holder. I was like, what the fuck is this? And he was like, oh, because you need your hands on the wheel.
Oh no.
You can just hang it on the wheel and it like applies the same pressure. And I was like, dude, that is not a good way. You need your hands on the wheel because it's not fully capable of doing what it needs.
How am I supposed to pack this bowl though? Well,
yeah. I mean, there are plenty of instances. There was a guy in, I believe it was the San Francisco area. His Tesla kept pulling at the same location every day.
Yeah.
Tesla ended up settling with the family, but...
because it crashed and he died.
Yeah, but I think they were able to prove that he was playing video games at the same time, which is, I mean...
God, what an embarrassing legacy.
This is the thing, he's promoted this as if it's like a usable... There was another one where I think the guy got in the Tesla to drive home and he was very drunk.
Yeah.
Because, why not? Just let the car drive you home.
Sure.
And a lot of people are saying like, what do I care if it can't distinguish a fake wall? Like, when is that ever going to happen? And it has happened.
Tractor trailers used to, or like 18-wheelers with it used to just plow right into them.
The autopilot has thought that it was the sky.
Yeah.
And just been like, great, that's just more sky, full
Sure.
speed ahead.
Yeah. So the whole again, the whole premise of the video is, can you fool a self-driving car? So they're intentionally, it's not necessary. These Tesla fucking fanboys are acting like this is a faulty test. It's not even a test, man. It's a YouTube video where it's in the name of fun for clicks.
I never really engaged with the Tesla Bull stuff outside of Twitter, kind of just seeing the tweets.
Yeah.
But when you start looking into this, there's all kinds of YouTube videos, just like 20-minute long things of guys breaking down how Mark Rober fucked this experiment up. And then you go to their channels and they just videos upon videos about how the Giga truck is coming,
dude,
and it's gonna. And
I'm so glad I'm not alone in this, because I mean, it used to be none of my friends, nobody knew about this except for me and all the trader nerds that I know online.
And they have names like the Tesla Lord.
Oh yeah,
just like.
So for those who don't know, there's this whole, I don't even know what you would call it. There's
community.
Community. Thank you. Of people out there who, and I understand, who have probably made millions and millions and millions of dollars by investing in Tesla early. And with that, naturally, I would assume comes and just an undying, unshakable faith in Elon Musk and in the company. Damn the haters, damn the short sellers. Everything that Elon Musk does and says is gospel to these people. And many of them have become so obsessed that they have social media channels where all they talk about is because it's become their life.
I mean, I was live. I was live checking some of the claims the guy was making, like about how basically no one's the fact that they're even talking about that Mark Rober's even talking about Lidar is ridiculous, because it's not even
outdated.
No one's using it. Even the Chinese companies. And I was like, is that
Waymo uses it?
Do a quick.
That's
Google,
what those things are.
Do a
spinning
quick
around.
Google BYD Lidar.
Yeah,
they're using it.
Yeah.
Also, it's not just Lidar to be. Waymo's also using cameras, other sensors. The whole fucking thing is full of sensors because they want to be able to map what's around it and not smash into a toddler like the video shows.
Well, you don't want to smash into a toddler, but some people might. Some people might be into that. So the first half, the video is all about Lidar, and he maps Space Mountain. And I just love that they're all like, oh, he should be sued. Tesla should absolutely sue him. This is false information. This is misleading the public. This is defamation. This is all sorts of. It's just.
I do agree in the sense that it's not the most rigorous scientific experiment. It's an entertainment YouTube
but it doesn't
video.
present itself.
No,
as
I
such.
know.
And they're such clowns.
Yeah.
It's really funny. They're calling him and Marquez Brownlee and some other guy, I can't remember, calling them like virtue signaling clowns, because of course, once you stop believing the Musk hype, you're shunned. You are excommunicado.
He's basically doing Mythbusters. It's like pop science.
That's a really good way of putting it.
It's pop science entertainment.
Yeah. There is, like you said, there's something sketchy about the fact that Luminar is a publicly traded company.
Not only that, so
their earnings are coming up.
He drives his own Tesla in the experiment in the tests run with the Tesla. He does not drive the Lidar vehicle, the Luminar vehicle.
A Luminar
There's
employee
a Luminar rep or employee or whatever in the driver's seat. It's a little odd, but I don't think it takes away from the fact that it was able to detect the things.
Some people are they're taking it so seriously. They're like, because when he finally plows through this foam wall, it's already got a pre-scored like outline that looks Looney Tunes, and people are like, oh, look at that. Why would you do that if you weren't expecting to break through the wall? It's like, because he probably knew, and clearly he did multiple takes. That indicates to me that he's lying and he's making it up. Yeah, no, fucking God. These people are.
I mean, to be clear,
they're insufferable.
The reason to do that is because It's an entertainment YouTube show.
Yes.
And if it does, in fact, go through the wall, he wants a big, shiny thumbnail with a Looney Tunes looking thing.
Hey, folks, we want to take another quick break to talk to you about saving money on your subscriptions.
You
got a huge problem, right? You're spending way too much money on so many various subscriptions. You got too many.
Don't
What are you
believe
doing?
us? Don't believe us? Pull your credit card app out right now. Look at all those random charges you got.
And you know the other thing, you might not even be able to do that because you forgot where you are assigning all these various subscriptions to. You got this one over here to this card, this one to your debit card, this one to your Venmo. Who knows, man? Jeez Louise, you got a problem. The start of the new year is a perfect time to get organized, though. And you can set goals, prioritize what matters most. For me, a top priority is my financial wellness, which feels more important than ever. Thanks to Rocket Money, my goals feel achievable. They show me all of my subscriptions right in one place and help me easily cancel ones that I forgot that I've been paying for. I remember when I first signed up for this thing, I was astonished. I was just throwing away money.
Oh, I mean, if you're anything like me, you ever do this? You
Tell me.
Sign up for a free trial.
Oh, bother.
And then it, of course, makes you put in all your payment information.
Yeah. Hoping that you'll forget.
I do.
Yeah.
Well, and then I just pay for that thing month after month after month.
Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions. It monitors your spending and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings.
Rocket Money has over 5 million users and
Wow.
has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's premium features.
Wow. That's why you got to get Rocket Money, folks. You got to get Rocket Money. They are going to show you everything that you've got. They will find your unwanted subscriptions and even help you cancel them on your behalf. So you never have to try to worry about them slipping through the cracks.
It's a beautiful little interface, right? You can see all of your subscriptions in one place. You can know exactly where the money's going. And for ones you don't want anymore, Rocket Money can help you cancel them.
Yeah.
The dashboard gives you a clear view of your expenses all across the accounts.
Just cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/Baze today. That's rocketmoney.com/Baze. rocketmoney.com/BAES. And I felt like he was fair. I mean, a lot of the tests, the thing passes. It recognized a child standing in the middle of the road. It then recognized a child lunging out in the middle of the road unexpectedly. I think the Luminar one, no, it almost failed. The one where they used rain.
No, the Luminar passed all of them.
Passed all of them.
It was 6.
Wow.
It was 6-3.
Wow.
The Tesla one failed 3 of them. Yeah, I don't know. I don't necessarily. I'm not going to sit here and be like Lidar is the way. I don't necessarily feel strongly about heading in the direction of full self-drive. I make none of these decisions. It seems like these companies are doing that regardless of what I think. I think if they are going to plow ahead, put some more damn sensors on the thing so it can actually tell what's in front of it.
Lidar, more like these people are liars.
Nice.
Because that was disingenuous. I had a dream last night. I just remembered that I had to give Donald Trump a ride to the White House in a Cybertruck. There was nobody else available to like pick him up. And they called me and they were like, get him. And I picked him up. And there was a lot of scary traffic that I had to like navigate around in the Cybertruck. And I remember just sitting next to him thinking, I could choke him. I could just do it. I could just choke him. But
you don't have the stones.
But we were having fun in the car.
He's probably a fun guy.
He was like, boy, this is really, this is really fast. And I was like, yeah, watch this. And I fucking had to zoom around a bunch of traffic. And he was like, whoa. And I remember he grabbed the arm thing and to hold on. And I remember being embarrassed. Like, oh, damn. He thinks I'm a shitty driver. But then I was like, what do you fucking care what this guy thinks?
Kill him.
And he kept making jokes and it kept making me laugh.
And then you put your seatbelt on, ejected his seatbelt and sped up.
That's what when I woke up this morning, I was like, why didn't I do that in my dream?
Because you're a coward.
Why didn't I I delivered him to the White House safely. And
Wow.
Then-
Even in his dreams.
But
he's
then
just
I
like-
went to sneak around. I was like, okay, I dropped him off. Now I'm just going to sneak around the White House and see what's out there, see what's in here. And it was a bunch of weirdos there. And anyway, it wasn't real, but
It wasn't real.
any whomst. So
Oh, wait. The other thing that these people pointed out, though, is that the autopilot disengages right before the crash, which is because what they were trying to point out is that he's not even using it at the time of it making this mistake.
which is asinine. It's a
Well, if anything, it points out a larger issue, which is that there is evidence of Tesla's disengaging autopilot before impact.
Yeah.
Uh,
because it's going, I don't want to watch. I don't want to do this. Not my fault.
well, some people are under the impression that may be them trying to.
That's been debunked. I saw that. It now records, even if it's been deactivated 5 seconds before
Right,
an
Tesla
impact,
still counts
it
it as
still
a-
counts it as a fault.
But if that's Tesla policy, that doesn't mean I necessarily believe it, right? You can go on Tesla's website and they have all kinds of claims. They've gotten sued for lying about range. They've gotten in trouble for falsifying sales in Canada to try to take advantage of tax credits and all this kind of stuff.
I mean, they touted the whole semi truck that I remember the takedown of the semi truck that this actual truck driver wrote, and it's just from the ground up doomed. It's such a shitty design. From just the seat, just the pilot seat being in the middle is so impractical on so many levels. Really, really funny stuff. And
Yeah, but what they don't realize is that you're not even gonna have to do anything. So being in the middle is fine. You're not gonna have to operate anything.
that's true because it's just going to pilot itself.
You're also speaking of pilot itself.
Well,
If you're like, why should I care about this? Elon, they're trying to roll out their robotaxi initiative.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Extreme. I mean, do you know when they're saying it's going to happen in Austin?
Yeah, in a couple months, right?
June. Yeah,
It
in
can
3
happen.
months.
It's going to be more
There-
vaporware. I guarantee it.
Oh yeah. At best,
Vaporware.
they'll have maybe remote controlled cars or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Even the Waymo guy was. I mean, I'm sure he's not the biggest fan of Elon, but he was saying like there's ways they can fake a robotaxi. But
for
these
sure.
are just there's no way they're going to build a safe autonomous vehicle. And it's not even going to be it's not the robotaxi, I guess.
Yeah,
it's-
it's its own model.
Yeah, but they're not even going to use that one. They don't even start production until 2026. They're going to be using Model 3 and Model Ys. That they're
Stupid. I mean, goddamn. Yeah, there's so much is wrong at the house of Tesla.
yeah.
And
Yeah, they plan to debut a fully autonomous ride-hailing service for the public in Austin by the middle of this year.
so does that mean
We're
just in Austin? It's only going to be in Austin?
Yeah, this is Elon Musk. We're going to be launching unsupervised full self-driving as a paid service in Austin in June.
Yeah, I guarantee that there's going to be
No specific details about pricing. Tesla will use its internal fleet, the Model 3 and Model Y, for the initial robotaxis instead of the Cybercab, which was revealed last October.
Stupid.
'Cause
Not going to work.
It's not going to go into production until at least 2026. I'd be surprised if they ever build that fucking thing.
Yeah. Well, so JP Morgan, you guys might know that. It's the bank, the one you got your Chase Sapphire with. Well, they do a lot more than credit cards. They do stock analysis. And they just put out a note on Tesla. And they said that so how these auto manufacturers work is a couple days after every quarter, they put out their delivery numbers. And that's not the same as their like quarterly reports. It's just their delivery numbers. And Tesla is expected to report their first quarter delivery numbers in early April. And JP Morgan, in their note, they trimmed their estimates to 355,000 deliveries from 444,000 deliveries, well below the consensus. So, when these analysts at the various banks and institutions, they put out their estimates, there's obviously a low and a high range. And the lowest range that consensus is 430,000 deliveries. JP Morgan dropped theirs to 355. That is substantial. The reason for that? They cite sales being down 44% in Norway in January and February and down 70% in Germany with similar numbers in Australia and China. And just as a reminder, 70% in Germany. Germany is the largest economy in Europe and also the biggest.
Yeah, and it's not just Germany and Europe. It's France. All these countries are. He's Denmark. He's got a huge reputation problem.
Always got a big old problem. They put out a price target of $120 per share, which is down 50. That would be a 50% drop from current levels after already dropping 49% from December's highs. It's really fun. They still got a ways to go, man. They're still valued at like 10 times the next biggest auto manufacturer just because they're computer. That's it. They're valued as computer.
I mean, that's what everyone has been saying right now. Why was this company ever valued higher than the next however many?
Because every time he gets up there, he talks about full self-drive and robots and shit.
Right.
And so that's what they're valuing it based on.
This whole thing, the whole time he's been saying, I can, the value of Tesla will depend on full self-drive. Meanwhile, he's been, trying to do cost-cutting measures around even that program.
Yeah. I like what they said in the note. JP Morgan said, quote, "We struggle to think of anything analogous in the history of the automotive industry in which a brand has lost so much value so quickly." They went on to say, Elon's work with Doge has proven controversial domestically. No shit. And while many on the right may be pleased as those on the left are displeased, the effect on Tesla sales seems nevertheless negative. Hey, everybody. We want to take another quick break to thank our longest running sponsor. It's Mumu, baby. Huge shout out to Glenn at Mumu. Everybody at Mumu. We love Mumu. I know it. I love it. I've been trading for a long time. And let me tell you, as an amateur, you know what? I'll call myself a professional at this point. They gave me a license. They screwed up and they gave me a license. They really shouldn't have, but they gave me one. And I got to say, Mumu really sets the bar high for what you need. So what is Mumu? It's a rapidly growing trading platform. They got over 24 million users worldwide, and it's so much more than just another trading app. They offer powerful tools and features designed to elevate your investing experience. They've got AI-powered insights. You can save time and simplify your research. They've got an AI summary that breaks down complicated terms and data into clear, concise highlights so you can focus on what matters most. They've got pattern recognition tools, trend projections. You can identify candlestick charts that match your target stock and predict potential future trends based on the historical data of the matched stock. It's really cool stuff. They've also got a ton of news alerts out there, so you don't have to pay however many hundreds of dollars a month for things like Bloomberg and whatnot. You don't need that. You can also simplify your options trading with Mumu. They've got an options strategy builder, which is huge. You can see the structure of when you're setting it up. You can see if you're doing complex options trades, you can see the legs and all the different things, where you're going to be profitable, where you're going to be break even, and so forth. You can adjust your price targets, budgets, expiration dates, see the updated potential profits and risks, and clear visual charts. Best of all, they've got zero commissions on stocks, ETFs, and options. Plus, margin rates start at just 6.8%, so you can trade without extra costs. Stay focused on your strategy.
But we got to tell you about the new user promotion, okay? Mumu also provides competitive promotions for new users. Mumu offers 8.1% APY on idle cash balances for a limited time, one of the highest in the industry.
True.
Plus, new users can enjoy rewards up to 30 free stocks with qualified deposits and a 3% cash reward on portfolio transfers up to $600 in cash rewards.
Wow.
Ready to take your trading to the next level? Join over 24 million users worldwide and start trading smarter with Mumu. Sign up using the link in the comments and claim your rewards now. Yeah, I mean, even that point, say that again? Those on the left.
And while many on the right may be pleased as those on the left are displeased. Right. Everybody on the right is just equally pleased as those on the left are displeased.
But that doesn't equal I'm going to go out and buy an expensive ass car.
Yeah, because they don't have the same amount of money as,
Yeah, that's just insane. I mean, the way look, people always call me a hater, and I am. And I've been hating this guy for so long. I mean, I remember
I've been hating him since fucking 2014, man.
I remember like having specific conversations with friends like in 2018 being like, dude, he's the fucking worst. And you couldn't convince people. They're like,
No,
he's gonna
you still can't convince people.
What?
These days, there's still people who cannot be convinced.
Yes,
They're
but
like,
that is a much different thing.
Sure,
That
yeah.
is a partisan and like indoctrination thing.
Yeah.
And that is not going to change. Those same people are like, fuck this guy.
Mm-hmm.
The people I'm talking about who I was, trying to convince in 2018
Right.
have done a complete 180 on the guy. There's just no way around it. I mean, there's also stats to back it up where there's polling now where it's like he's got 53% of Americans hold an unfavorable opinion of Elon Musk right now. That's according to a CNN/SSRS poll of 1,200 adults. Also found that a majority of Americans are skeptical of Musk's ability to influence government policy. About 62% believe he lacks the right experience to make meaningful changes, and while 61% feel he does not have the right judgment to do so. That's a very different picture of who he was. I mean, leading up to even just like
leading up to COVID.
Yes,
COVID
leading
is the
up to
big
COVID,
thing.
He was this kind of like trusted guy. He knows what he's doing. He cares about us. He cares about the environment. He's just maybe he's a little bit weird, but you can't deny this man just cares about humanity and wants to save it. He's like Iron Man. He's like real life Iron Man.
I hated that. Even at the time, I was like, this guy's full of shit.
And-
I mean, because I was seeing him bitching about short sellers. And when short sellers are the reason that Tesla is as high as it is. Without short sellers to manipulate and squeeze, which is exactly what he would do, the right timed releases at specific intervals, and I mean, man, it was just a masterful gambit, sir, to Elon Musk. I mean, truly, it would be the way that they would fuck with their numbers and the way that God, I can't even their accounting practices are so questionable on so many different levels that goes beyond my understanding and my comprehension. These were ways that they would always beat the market's expectations. And when there were so many short sellers in the stock expecting it to go down, and when it didn't, that just is further fuel to the upside. And it just kept on fucking happening at all these crucial inflection points, both fundamentally for the company and technically based on the chart. And it was obvious that he had such a personal vendetta against short sellers that he would do anything that he needed to do, vaporware, lying, misleading the public, cryptic fucking tweets, funding secured, all that bullshit. I've been seeing the guy manipulate the market for a decade, and I'm not at all the only one. Like, there's people out there just as much as there are Elon fanboys.
There's a whole Tesla Q movement.
Yes.
Yeah, who have been calling this for so long.
Jim Chanos is the big one. He was one of the first to he was the big Enron short seller. He has been sounding the alarm on Tesla for a long time and has had his ass handed to him, presumably, because it just keeps going up.
Yeah. And I try to not get excited about things because nothing good ever happens, but this does feel like there's this feels very different. I also don't want to discount the fact that I think like even just the culture inside Tesla is going to change. I think before he actually was, he was good at attracting high quality talent and people wanted to work under him. I think it's going to be harder to do that. I have a friend who works at SpaceX and is like, I was just talking to him and he was like, yeah, I don't know. It's been pretty weird knowing that I just work for an out and out Nazi, trying to navigate that. I think.
What's this person's job at SpaceX?
He's a rocket scientist.
Cool.
But I think his firms are going to start filling up more and more, less with innovative people and more with yes men, like people who are just down to go along with Elon's vision.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to have a harder time delivering on these lofty goals that were already out of reach.
Mhm.
And then when you just, I mean, I think America is his only real viable market at this time. The China thing is, even the New York Times had a big thing about the Chinese market kind of collapsing around him.
Mm.
Not only are people less interested in Tesla, but the competition
Oh yeah.
from Chinese EVs is just
they just revealed, folks, it's getting gnarly. A battery system that charges EVs in 5 minutes.
yeah. This stuff is so funny because it's gone from the narrative around Chinese tech has gone from xenophobic headlines of like, but you can't trust them, to now just like, fuck, look what they got over there.
Look what they got, man.
You don't get that.
Also, their BYD Shenzhou, scroll down just a bit right there. The Zhengzhou factory will be bigger than San Francisco. It is 10 times larger than the Tesla Gigafactory in Nevada. That's right. My God, man.
Yeah.
I mean, these Chinese people, let me say something about the Chinese. Boy, those people are innovative, They really can build a battery.
Just to highlight the BYD thing, Tesla's biggest rival, the electric car giant BYD, sold 481,318 cars in the first 2 months of this year, over 3/4 more than it did over the same period last year. Tesla sold 60,480 vehicles in the first 2 months of this year,
That's
a drop of 14% from last year.
And it's because at first, if you were a Chinese guy or gal and you got access to a Tesla, hey, that's cool, man. That's what they got over in America. But now it ain't got that cool factor no more. They haven't had a new model in like fucking 10 years.
Yeah.
They ain't had a new. They're still to use the model analogy. They're still rocking with who's that black lady with the big forehead who's on runway model. What's that? Come on.
There's a lot of funny quotes in this New York Times article, but the best one is from this woman who works at some Chinese EV company, Miss Jia. She said, "Our car looks better than Tesla, and you could buy 2 of our cars for the price of 1 Tesla."
Wow. See, now that's substantial.
They can't even compete. I don't know what they're competing on. The tech is worse. It's
the
more
build
expensive.
quality is dog shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm pissed about? Xiaomi. I bought some shares of that in my IRA, no less. My tax-free Roth IRA at like fucking $1.75. And then I sold it at like $3. Motherfuckers up to $7.50. And I bought a bunch of it too. Ticker symbol XIACF. If anybody wants to follow along. I believe they're now valued at $170 billion. Oh boy. What was her name though?
That's a fun little Tyra Banks.
Tyra Banks, thank you.
That's a fun little trick that the IRA thing a lot of people do with, like, Peter Thiel's a big guy. He'll IPO shit and just like, it's so fucked up.
Yeah.
That's a story for another time.
Hey, everybody. We want to take one last quick break to talk a little bit about starting your own business and what you're doing to make it the best it possibly can be. And what you need to be doing, of course, that I'm getting at is Shopify.
Take it right from the horse's mouth. We're a couple of guys who started their own business, and we're a couple of Shopify users. We were lost, swimming out to sea. We didn't know what to do. The sun was beating down us. We were all red-faced. We needed water.
Dehydrated.
And then luckily we heard the ka-ching, ka-ching of Spotify.
The siren song.
They've made it incredibly easy for us to run an online store. Not just an online store, but a real world store. When we go out into the world, we've got a POS system so we can sell merch at our shows.
They
make
us
everything
experts.
so easy.
Make it so easy, folks. I mean, you don't have to. You barely have to lift a dang finger.
I knew how to do none of this stuff, but now all of a sudden I know how to design a product, create a product and push it out into our digital store and offer it out to people.
They Shopify really makes it simple for no matter how big or small your business is. They're going to help you get things going. So you're going to want to upgrade your business and get the same checkout that we use with Shopify. You can sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Baze. That's all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Baze to upgrade your selling today. What do you got to lose? It's $1 a month trial period. Shopify.com/Bays. So let's see what the people on Twitter are how they're coping. So this gentleman, these are what's really fun about these Tesla bulls. They are just borderline delusional. This guy, Jeremy Judkins, says he posted a photo. Every time I get in the Tesla Cybertruck, I can't help myself. I buy a few shares of Tesla simply because the truck itself reminds me how Tesla does it better than anyone else. If you don't own one, you will never understand. You know, you're right, Jeremy. I don't think I'll ever understand. And I pray to God I don't have to.
I really do want to understand, though, like what happened to this guy's. He's just so invested in Tesla.
He's made millions of dollars.
He's also got fucking bare feet.
That's fine by me. I don't care about that.
What are you doing?
I really don't care about that.
Mine is on weekly auto buy. Sell it, set it, and forget it.
Yeah.
That's the same reason for me. Cybe plus FSD is like a hidden treasure.
And you know,
how
folks,
do you become such a fucking loser? We need to study this man's mind.
I will say this. When Tesla, because now expectations for their delivery numbers are in the shitter, like they're so in the shitter that they left stains on the ceramic in the toilet. You know what I'm saying? You got to pee that stuff off. If the numbers are not as bad as expected, do not be surprised to see Tesla bounce 10 to 20%.
Yeah,
back up to 270, I think, something like that. That's my guess.
Which we really don't want to happen.
And then my conspiracy brain, click Cybercab testing.
It's been fun to watch along with everyone else this thing crash.
Yeah. So this is from Herbert Ong, and his Twitter bio says, daily interviews with Tesla experts. Daily interviews. Follow me for Tesla milestones and humanoid bots. Get $1,000 off it. This guy's got a huge following. Anyway.
How many people? Can you just hover over him?
How many? 76,000 followers. I believe that other guy just before has like over 100,000.
And his entire livelihood is probably wrapped up in Tesla.
Yeah. So he's got this post.
So you know he's a good source.
Cybercab testing at Giga, Texas is speeding up. About 6 are driving around on different routes, learning and improving. And he's got photos, aerial photos, and video of the Tesla Cybercab doing like testing. And of course, everybody's just creaming their shorts about this. Wow, look at it. And for the audio listener, you're not missing much because you're not seeing shit. It's just, ooh, there's the Cybercab. Nothing's happening.
Also, outside of full self-drive and all this shit, just a ridiculous design for a cab.
Yeah, because wouldn't it be cool to live in a sci-fi future?
But
That's their whole
cannot
thing.
fit more than 2 people.
Yeah.
You can't. What if I want to do a little shopping and I say, I'm going to order my Cybercab and then I'm going to load up you can't put anything in it.
Yeah.
Why would they not all just be little robo vans?
It looks like there was a ride at Disneyland called Autopia.
Yes, they do.
They look like dumb little Autopia cars. Also, I think that this is intentional, and I think that this was kind of given to this guy to post as a means to counteract the FUD, as they call it, the fear, uncertainty, and doubt.
I mean, it's down another 5% just today.
Yeah. So this tweet comes from Dr. Tesla, who's at his whole Tesla show. I mean, it's just a nobody guy, but still, I really liked his take, which is Mark lied about Tesla technology and showed a little boy getting destroyed. Evil has a name, and it is Mark Rober.
If you haven't watched the video, he's talking about it's a dummy. It's
a fucking dummy.
It's like a styrofoam dummy.
And then the original guy who tweeted about all this, Phil Truby, said, "Yeah, the mannequin after the barrier was pure horror porn. Only point was to elicit a negative emotional response."
I thought he was joking.
No, these guys are fucking.
They're so unintentionally funny.
Such fragile babies.
Pure horror porn.
Yeah. Wow, it reminds me of that.
I watched a styrofoam child get obliterated.
Oh, it's terrible.
I don't think I'm gonna sleep tonight.
It reminds me of Elon's tweet a few years ago where he said, "I tried to play Grand Theft Auto 6 or 5, but because there was violence against police, I couldn't do it." Shut the fuck up.
You know what would really freak these guys out? The horror porn. Any image of one of the Teslas slamming into a truck because the autopilot failed.
Well, no. Remember that guy that you mentioned who killed himself in San Francisco? They were tweeting out messages of support of "he died for the cause." He
Jesus
died
Christ.
because now nobody else is ever going to die on that same stretch of road. Thanks to him. He's a pioneer. He's a death pioneer.
There is a horrifying.
He's a
it's-
Tesla not.
The Washington Post put out a thing called "The Final 11 Seconds of a Fatal Tesla Autopilot Crash." This is not the San Francisco one. This is a different. This is the one that hit a truck, and they recreated it, and it is kind of horrifying. It's just, and it's weird to see because any driver would have been able to brake in time, and it stops right at the moment of collision. Just horrifying.
Ay, ay, ay. Well, folks, also, last thing, just to underscore overpromising and way under-delivering, Marquez Brownlee's tweet from 2017 made its way to my timeline. This is the Roadster 2 that I completely forgot was promised as a new model. Because one thing that I tend to forget is that they've really only got the Model S, the Model 3, X, Y, and the truck. 5. They haven't had a new model other than the truck in like a decade.
And the truck is a complete disaster.
Oh, it's a joke.
Not only is it a joke, like they haven't sold enough. I think they had either 1 million or 2 million signups like this, basically the reservations, and they converted like nothing.
Yeah. Well, so the Roadster 2 was touted as doing 0 to 60. This is from Marquez Brownlee's tweet. Roadster 2, 0 to 60 in 1.9 seconds. 0 to 100 in 4.2 seconds. 250 mile an hour total speed. 620 mile range. 0 regrets. This was his reservation circa...
He paid $50,000 for it, I think.
$50,000. And you get nothing, Marquez Brownlee. Nothing! You stole fizzy lifting drinks. Good day, sir!
I mean, this is a perfect example of what I was talking about, though. Around this time, everyone was just like, he's fucking Iron Man.
Yeah.
He's going
Holy
to give
shit.
us all this tech.
This is going to be awesome.
Be the first one in line for a Tesla Roadster.
Yeah. And you know what that was at the time? That was counted as precious, very much needed revenue to keep beating quarter after quarter that then helped sustain and fuel Tesla stock's growth ever higher, thus further squeezing short sellers. Just the cycle continued, and it was it was a thing to marvel at. It was something that was back when Kathy Wood was going, this is going to be a $2 trillion company because of fucking the robots and the autopilot or full self-driving. That's a terrible Kathy Wood. She deserves better. She's a woman of God.
But he could not be further from this guy, and people have really woken up to it. I mean,
yes. I mean, he's
everything
one of them.
outside of this, everything outside of Tesla too. I mean, Boring Company, have they ever done anything?
They put out that sick, sweet flamethrower.
Neuralink, I mean, they killed some apes, sure. I don't know how much that counts as progress for getting...
Oh, that wheelchair-bound guy can look at porn.
That's true.
With his
If we
face.
get more people watching porn, then fine, we'll count that as a win, Elon. His Hyperloop...
More like hyper poop because that thing stinks.
I'm sure I feel like the Austin rollout will end up looking something akin to what the final product of the Hyperloop was.
Wouldn't it be fun if he just went out there and had one of his crying fits? His rumored crying fits? He just knows that it's all about to collapse and he just goes out there and goes, well,
I think there's a much...
the Volvo taxi is here, guys.
I think there's a much funnier scenario.
What, where he
and we're
gets
all,
in and it hits a wall?
We're all rooting for it.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, Elon, if you're watching,
get in.
Do it.
Get in, bitch.
I think...
And don't wear seatbelts. Libs wear seatbelts.
I think the walls are closing in on you, Elon, and go out. Do it.
And don't put your kid in the car with you because that would just be...
That would be a bummer.
That'd be a bummer. Anyway, there was also the final thing that I'll say. There was a poll done, but there's this German publication called T Online.
Yeah, this is another perfect
Not sure what the T stands for, but this one is a little less reliable. There was a poll of 100,000 readers from T Online showing that 94% of these 100,000 people polled wouldn't buy a Tesla. And by the time that came out, the poll was still up. And it's funny because a bunch of Tesla bulls are like, this was manipulated because then they themselves manipulated it. They circulated it amongst their crowd.
Everyone
and now
go
it's
vote for
showing.
this.
Yeah. So that one might be a little misleading.
But there is some real world examples. It was
70% down in Germany. Yeah.
it was another. I don't think it was in the New York Times, but I'll have to find it. But it was they have real examples of it was. I think it was a Swiss guy who basically for his company buys Teslas every year.
I buy a Tesla every year.
And he was set to order 15 new vehicles.
I was set to order 15.
And now he's canceling his order. And even at it's going to cost him more money.
It's going to cost me more money canceling the 15
and he's like,
Teslas.
I don't care. I don't want to be.
I don't care.
I don't want to be associated with this company.
Famously, I'm Swiss. I'm neutral, and I don't want to be involved with this man. So I'm probably going to get a Balbo.
I mean,
going to get a Balbo or something like that.
There is a real social pressure here where, I mean, there was a very funny kind of viral post on maybe r/Tesla of a guy. And again, it could be fake.
Sure.
I hope it's real. Of a guy being like, I don't know what to do. I've already had two passerbys seek hail me in my Tesla, and now my wife won't get in the car.
Oh, yeah.
And
I feel bad for people.
There's
like that.
Sure. I mean, there are a ton of people who, for financial reasons, cannot just get rid of their car in a hurry and get a new car. But hey, slap one of those stickers on it that say, I hate that piece of shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was a Nazi.
I saw a sticker.
Even though the signs were there.
Some fucking guy put a sticker on his car that said, I still like Elon. I think he's epic.
No,
or something like
there's
that.
no way.
Yeah. Yeah. And he
even if that's you're asking for trouble.
Dude,
I
he's
mean,
not going to suck you off. He's not going to give you $1 million. Like, what do you fucking think's going to happen?
They're doing their part.
Yes, Jesus Christ.
But yeah, now
it's not cool anymore at all. I think that delivery numbers are probably going to fucking crater. I think that if their delivery numbers are not as bad as reported, like I said, I think the stock will bounce, but I think that that's an opportunity to get fucking short because the company's still valued at $700 billion, man. It's ridiculous. Even for a computer.
Have you seen everything's computer?
Everything is computer. Jesus. God,
Yeah,
I wish I'd choked out Trump in my dream.
I'm trying. I
Why
can't
didn't they do
remember. I'm blanking on that. There's that company that's leading the charge on the Tesla boycotts and stuff like that. But I'm
Hyundai?
No. I'm sorry, not company, organization. It's like something ridiculous, like turn off Tesla or.
Oh yeah.
They're planning all those Tesla boycotts.
Well, why don't we?
And then the French are going crazy. That one guy like burned down all the charging.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah. I like that. That's some civil disobedience.
Leave it to the French.
Yeah, you know what? That is vandalism. But I don't care. I truly don't care.
Soon enough, it won't just be vandalism.
It'll be terrorism.
That'll be domestic terrorism.
Yeah.
All right. And so if you don't want to get locked up and sent to Gitmo, you better leave those goddamn cars alone.
Yeah. Well, so folks, let's pivot into the rest of the episode with some other good news, shall we? Inflation is down just a wee bit. Just a wee bit. Came out. Volatility is down. In fact, Morgan Stanley thinks that we've got a bit of a tradable low here on the S&P 500. The level 5,500 should provide support for a tradable rally, Morgan Stanley says. Just going off of that, we are now in our 5th red week on the S&P. Should it close red on the week? And I'm not sure where it's going. Yeah. U.S. indices reached a level of oversold territory not seen since 2022. Additionally, Morgan Stanley noted a significant easing in sentiment and positioning gauges with an expected improvement in seasonal trends towards the latter half of March. The firm also said that recent weakness in the U.S. dollar could provide a boost to earnings revisions. Dollar. While a decline in interest rates may benefit economic surprise indices. Michael J. Wilson said, "We stand by our call from last week that 5,500 should provide support for a tradable rally led by cyclicals, lower quality, and expensive growth stocks that have been hit the hardest, where the short base is the greatest." However, the strategists caution
All right.
that policy uncertainty has escalated, posing persistent growth risks in the coming months, which is true. We still have no idea what's going to happen because those tariffs are meant to take effect on April 2nd, day after my
If
brother's
they
birthday.
will. If they actually will.
Yeah. And this is fun if you're not a fan of artificial intelligence. Adobe, the makers of Photoshop and all that shit, they were down 11% last week. We mentioned this on the Weekend Rip Stock Twits, which is our Friday show. And they said Adobe's AI book of business, while growing, currently represents a low single-digit percentage of total revenue. So I'm guessing that means like 3 to 4%, raising concerns about its long-term materiality. So if you're worried about AI or
Now
you're
talk to me
skeptical,
about how you came to that number of 3 to 4.
because a low single digit.
No, I know.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just funny to read a low single digit percentage and then be like, that could be 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't say. Could it be
Yeah.
2 or 1?
No.
Could be 1. I would say 1 to 5. 1 to 5. 1 to 5%. And then some other good news out there, folks. This was originally meant to be a good news week.
And then we just saw Elon getting his dick stuck in the door, and
Yeah.
we
God,
couldn't
that
help
would be fun.
ourselves.
Oh no, my penis is stuck in the door. So
Which some people are saying is a very sophisticated prosthetic.
yeah, what's the story there? His dick fell off at some point and he had to get dick surgery to
I think so.
put his dick back together?
Yeah.
All the king's horses and all the king's men.
Could not put Elon's penis back together again.
Yeah. Well, anyway, there's this company called Loyal, and they just got preliminary FDA efficacy acceptance for, it's basically a pill or treatment.
I like
or
that
something.
woman's last name. Celine. Hello.
Yeah, she's cute. Is that her with her big dog? Look at that dog's face. Oh my God. Audio listener, I wish you could see it. It's just a pretty woman with her dog.
That
sitting on
dog
a
is
couch.
37 years old.
They said, we are pursuing FDA approval for use in dogs 10 years and older and weighing at least 14 pounds. Metabolic health declines with age, even in generally healthy dogs. And this has been linked with a worsened quality of life and higher disease burden over time. And their treatment, LOY002, they usually have these weird nicknames or like official names before they have a branded name, aims to extend healthy lifespan by mitigating age-associated metabolic dysfunction and related diseases.
I gotta say, it begs the question.
Hmm.
Is this where we should be putting our research?
Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely.
You know who's happy about this? That fucking Brian Johnson freak. He can live forever with his dog.
I keep trying to get him on the show. I respond to his shit and I DM him and
I told you, I already got
response.
an in.
Oh yeah, well
We've talked about this.
Work on it, dude. Get him in here. I want him to blast me and call me a
Like have sex with you?
no.
Oh.
Only
Someone's gonna make a supercut of all the times Ben's
Wants
like,
to get
I want
blasted
that
by
guy to
me."
fuck me, and then you're like, the fuck?
It'll be
Yeah.
Or you're like just
undeniable.
fully offering some CEO like, I'll fucking suck you, dude. I'll fucking suck.
I forgot
like,
about
if
that.
I'll
I-
suck off anybody who can fully cure dandruff.
If I lose this bet, I'll suck you off. If you win, you nothing.
You're totally missing the Steve Wozniak thing where I
No,
said
yeah, but that
he's-
one was so recent. Steve,
Okay, so then they're also making progress on pancreatic cancer with super early detection stuff.
see now that's good.
That's good.
That's
And then
great.
you know those little things, tardigrades?
Brother, I'm full of tardigrades.
No, not the phone booth thing from Doctor Who. What is that called? The phone booth
I've
thing.
never
from-
seen Doctor Who.
Fuck. It's got a name. But
You
tardigrades.
did that to yourself. You didn't have to get
Yeah.
hung up on that.
They're those little microscopic looking bear things. But anyway, apparently they're like super resistant to radiation.
Yeah, that's why I've made my whole body out of them.
That's not true. Don't lie. Don't lie on the show.
Sorry.
Anyway,
Well, they should make them eat the microplastics that are in my penis.
the microplastics.
Yeah.
The microplastics.
We should get tested. Let's do that. Ben and Emil on microplastics. Get our penises tested.
How do they test for microplastics? in
I
the
don't know,
balls?
but they never. Every time there's a new headline, they're like, "Turns out everyone's balls and testicles are full of microplastics."
Good.
Like, what about
Good.
the rest of my body?
Good. What if I want it that way? We all know that microplastics don't biodegrade. So doesn't that mean that I'm going to live longer? Stupid bitch. You petty bitch.
Turns out your genitals are mostly microplastics at this point.
Yeah. Well,
Good luck procreating.
they done got influenced by these tardigrades and were like, yo, when people get radiation therapy, it breaks down their DNA and makes them real sick and can cause problems. So they're leaning on a little bit of these tardigrades and implementing things to make a treatment. Yeah, radio protection of healthy tissue via nanoparticle delivered
mRNA encoding for a damage suppressor protein found in tardigrades.
Sorry, this was just so boring to read the headline. I fell asleep mid read.
So you took something you wanted to talk about and then faked.
No, it was just such a long.
It was literally a headline.
They got these poor mice.
You didn't make it
Scroll
through
down.
You didn't make it through a headline.
Look at this. In mice with orthotopic oral cancer, messenger-based radio protection of normal tissue preserved the efficacy of radiation therapy. These poor mice, they're giving them, yeah. Let's see. RNA encoding the damage suppressor protein into buccal and rectal tissues. So that's the only downside. Like, it sounds like they got to put it up your butt.
Or
Got to put it in the rectal
or in
tissue.
your buccal fat, which if you got it removed in 2023, sorry.
That's really fucked up and funny. It's like, hey, we got this treatment, but it can only go in your cheeks or your asshole.
You should have said in your cheeks or your cheeks.
Yeah, that would have been funnier. Fuck. Look at this ad on the right there.
No, I won't.
The Marvel.
I won't look at it. I
Look
can't.
at it. No, read it. JEOL's new liquid nitrogen cooled NMR probe.
Does it go up your butt?
I don't know. Look at that thing, and it's called the Marvel. What is this shit? I love when you got ads for random shit.
Well, I'm sure because it was.
Dude, look how great the super cool Marvel does compared to the Royal Probe. Release of high sensitivity cool probe super cool Marvel? Scroll down, dude. Wow, this press release. Super cool Marvel
it's the
is
fourth generation.
It's the fourth generation of the super cool probe series. It suppresses thermal noise, dude, and enables highly sensitive NMR measurements by cooling the RF coil and
I like
preamplifier
that even
to
though
liquid
we're on the
nitrogen
page,
temperature.
we can't figure out what it
We
is.
still don't know what it does.
They closed the comments.
There's no comments allowed.
Comments are closed at this time.
Yeah,
People
because
are getting weird about the super cool probe.
it can measure low noise and high sensitivity. It's a multi-nuclear probe capable of measuring not only common nuclei such as 1H and 13C.
There's one guy in the audience screaming.
Well, dude, it also measures nuclei such as 19F and 31P. It's highly effective in measuring samples that decompose or change quickly, as well as trace samples that are difficult to obtain.
Which
What
is
the
good.
fuck
That's
is
good.
that?
That's good. This is.
I'm
doodad.
googling what does the super cool Marvel do.
Wait, go to the About Us. Just what do they fucking do? What is JEOL? It's still challenges the world's highest technology.
Science is the
Okay.
pursuit of knowledge.
This
The
is ridiculous.
methodology that allows us to understand and to see the world for what it truly is.
By
It's
doing
macro
what?
And it's nano. Both the blocks and the buildings they support. Science helps us interpret the world and our place in it. At Joel, we enable scientists to do the work that fuels our understanding of the world.
I'm on their
Joel's
site.
tools
It's so hard to
empower
figure out what they
scientific
do.
discovery. And beyond the lab, our solutions unlock innovation, where pioneers across fields and industries work today to forge a more sustainable future for generations to come.
For what?
From understanding the microstructure of energy materials
Oh.
and ensuring the safety of our environment,
Oh,
to identifying
Oh.
the cell structure of the living world,
okay.
Wow.
from creating new solutions in forensics for law enforcement, to enabling
Ah.
customers to build and characterize complex components in additive manufacturing, and from
Cool.
furthering the development of semiconductors for supercomputers, to advancing devices and sensors used in space exploration.
Nick the lane. Good
Joel
God.
empowers
Well,
scientists
no,
to
I think
develop
they
the
make these-
technology needed to build a better
these,
world for
like,
us all. But
God
Joel is
damn.
more than the
components
scientific
that are
breakthroughs we
necessary for
make.
all these
Yeah.
massive things. All right, we can get out
Whoa,
of it.
dude, that guy's a fucking.
Walk in stride with those we
Oh, what? He looks
There
like...
is
We
we
are a
support.
family.
I
We
work
are
at
the
All right.
Joel.
humans
Okay,
behind
end
the
it.
technology.
I work at Joel. Joel.
it's a subsidiary of a Japanese company. You know what Joel
Oh.
stands for?
No.
Japan Electron Optics Laboratory.
Wow, that's pretty cool, man. All right. Well, there you have it, folks.
Guys, I'm
Let us
glad
know-
we got to the bottom of Joel.
I saw
You
it.
guys, Joel heads, hey, real Joel heads, sound off in the
Real
comments.
Joel heads, rise up.
Real Joel heads
Real Joel
know
heads.
that the super cool thing is better than the other one. It's
Real-
way fucking
Real
better.
Joel heads, please comment about your experience with the 4th generation of the super cool
We
Meg.
should go there and interview them and be like, tell us about this thing. We don't know what the fuck
Seems
it does.
fascinating.
And then I'll just, every time the guy tells me, I'll just go, sorry, start over. Okay, so we got a great bonus for you guys coming up. I have 3 inventions that my uncle told me about on the phone last night. I'm not kidding you, folks. They're really, really good. And it made me want to make a video about it. But then I'm like, no, because I'd be making fun of my uncle, and he believes in these inventions so much that he would be afraid that someone would steal them. So be sure to tune in. BenandEmilShow.com.
I'm reading I'm reading
Yeah,
them
yeah,
right
yeah.
now. They're fucking crazy.
They're really good. All right, we'll see you in the bonus, folks. It's sure to be a real good one.
Coming up on this week's episode of BenandEmilShow.com.
Touching his brake lightly.
He's just
because-
feathering that thing.
Yeah.
that
Or
puppy.
if it's like, oh shit, that guy is.
Slammed. Yeah.
You like
That's
that?
why I always,
Do you like that?
that's a great idea. Great idea. Who are you, my uncle?
I feel like that's not a bad idea.
No, it's not a bad idea. It's a great idea.
But you called me your uncle who had some not so great ideas.
Well, because sometimes he's got good ideas. All right.
Hey, Belle, what do you got there?
Oh, just a PVC. I'm building a. Wow, what a great audience!
It's me, your wife.
oh gosh,
You
my
guys
wife.
aren't building potato guns again, are you?
No, honey, no. We're using this PVC pipe that you gave me money to go purchase from Home Depot. We're using the
That's supposed
PVC
to be
pipe.
for the plumbing.
Yeah, I know, honey. We're using it to fix the toilet.
You're not going to shoot tourists at the White House again, are you?
No, honey. That's just my wife. Go away now, please.
Okay, bye.
Okay,